I'm James Alex Tusa, senior at the National Sports Academy in Boston, majoring in sports training and rehabilitation. Being captain of this swimming team and maintaining a 4.0 GPA kept me busy enough, but everything changed when I met Liam Hayes at Wasserley. September, during one of my regular Ravoning training sessions in the Olympic-sized pool, I had just finished a usual 2,000-meter workout when I noticed someone watching from Theblacher's eye. Pulled myself out of the pool. I got a better look at him. Tall, athletic bueth, dark hair and striking green ice can. "I help you?" I asked. Grabbing my towels, stood up, moving with the natural grace of a trained athlete. "Actually, yes, I'm Liam Hayes for a year," Coach Thompson said. "You might be willing to help me with Miss Swimming technique." Now I remembered Coach had mentioned a promising track athlete who wanted to cross-train in swimming. What hadn't mentioned was how incredibly attractive this athlete was. "Sure," I said, trying to maintain my professionalism. "I'm Alex Mitchell. Coach mentioned your aspirin or 400-meter hurdles." He nodded. Looking slightly nervous, "I've been swimming casually, but I need to improve my form. Coach thinks it could help with my overall conditioning." I couldn't help but notice how his track team t-shirt clung to his well-defined shoulder shave. "You brought your swim gear. We could start now if you'd like." "Really?" His face lit up. "Yeah, I've got my stuff in Theliker room." While Liam changed, I tried to get my thoughts in order. As an openly gay athlete at the academy, I'd learned to be careful about my interactions with other male athletes. The sports world, even in 2024, wasn't always the most accepting place. When Liam returned in a swim shorts, I had to force myself to maintain eye contact. This body was a testament to years of athletic training. Lean muscle built for speed and power. "Let's see what we're working with," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Show me your freestyle." I watched as he dove in and started swimming. His raw athleticism was evident, but his technique needed work. After a few laps, he stopped at my end off the pool. "How bad is it?" he asked, pushing his wet hair back from his face. "Not bad." All I assured him, "You've got great natural ability. We just need to refine your stroke technique and breathing pattern." For the next hour, I guided him through various drills, occasionally having to adjust his position or demonstrate proper form each time I touched him to correct his arm position or shoulder alignment. I felt a spark of electricity. "This is harder than it looks." Laughed after a particularly howling drill. "No wonder you swimmers are in such good shape." I tried not to read too much into the way his eyes seemed to linger on my chest as Hesed at same time. "Next week," I suggested us. We were finishing up, actually hesitated. "I was wondering if we could make this a regular thing, maybe 3 times a week. I'd really like to improve." Quickly, my heart shouldn't have jumped at the prospect of spending more time with him, but it did. "Sure. I can do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings." Perfect. This smile was radiant, and "Hey, maybe Someday could come watch one of my track meets, return the favor there." Awesome, nothing in his tone that made me wonder if he was flirting, but I quickly dismod the thought. I'd like that. I zayed carefully as I watched him head to Theliker room. I tried to remind myself that he was probably straight probably being friendly, but something about Liam Hayes made it hard to maintain mutual professional distance. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of Astri that would change both our lives over the next few weeks. Our thrice weekly swimming sessions became the light of my days. Liam was a quick learner, his athletic background making it easier for him to adapt to new techniques, but it wasn't just his swimming that was improving. Our relationship was evolving too. We started spending time together outside off training sometimes. He joined me for dinner at the campus cafeteria after our sessions, both of us still with damp Hiron shoulders, tired from swimming. Other times we'd grab coffee before morning classes, discussing everything from sports psychology to our favorite movies. I learned that Liam came from California, where he'd been a state champion in track and field. His father was a former Olympic athlete who now coached professionally, which explained both his natural talent and the pressure it's felt to sight. So that sometimes I feel like I can't breathe under all the expectations. He confided one evening as we sat on Theblacher's after training. "Dad wants me to focus solely on track, maybe even aim for the Olympics like he did, but I'm not sure that's what I want." "What do you want?" Ty asked, softly, trying to ignore how the setting sun made his green eyes look almost golden. He was quiet for a moment, absently running a hand through his damp hair. "I love sports, but I'm also interested in sports therapy, helping athletes recover, preventing injuries, that kind of thing, like what I'm studying at Yale." He smiled. "Actually, watching Yao work with the swim teams in Girotathalates has made me more interested In it, our conversations often went deep like this, revealing layers. Off vulnerability that Surprisem Lim might have looked like theatypical, confident athlete on the surface, but underneath he was thoughtful, sumites, insecure, and incredibly obligent. One particularly cold October evening, after a grueling training session, Liam suggested we grab dinner off campus. There's this great Italian place, a few blocks away. He said, holding his gym bag, I'm starving and campus food just isn't going to cut it tonight. The restaurant was small and cozy, with checkered tablecloths and candles on each table. It felt decidedly more intimate than our usual casual dinners, so Liam said after we'd ordered, there's something. I've been wanting to talk to you about. My heart rate picked up. Oh, he fidgeted with his water glass, a nervous gesture I'd commentory cognize. I've never told anyone this before, but he took a deep breath. I think I might be gay or maybe bi. I'm no truly sure yet. The world seemed to stop for a moment. I carefully set down my own glass. Thank you for trusting me with that, I said softly. You're the first person I felt safe enough to tell. Heck, continued, his voice barely above a whisper. I've seen how confident you are about being out, how you don't let neons prejudices affect you. It's inspiring. It wasn't always easy, I admitted, especially in sports. But being honest about who I am was worth every difficult moment. How did you know, hissed, looking up at me with those intense green eyes, that you were gay? I think I always knew deep down, but I have first admitted it to myself during my sophomore year of high school there. Was this guy on my swim team? We spent the next 2 hours sharing stories, his abuthus, growing awareness of his attraction, Tom and mine about my coming out journey. As we talked, walking back to campus, we were quiet, both processing the evening's revelations. The autumn air was crisp, and Liam walked close enough that our shoulders occasionally brushed. Alex hesitated as we reached the point where we needed to split up for our respective dorms. Yeah, thank you for everything. Before I could respond, he quickly leaned in and kissed my cheek, then turned and walked away, leaving me standing there, my heart racing and my cheek tingling where his lips had touched the days following the dinner were filled with a new kind-of tension. During our swimming session, every touch felt charged with meaning, every glance held possibility. I tried to maintain my role as mentor and friend, but it was becoming increosinglific to ignore the attraction between us. One Wednesday evening, as I was demonstrating proper butterflute technique, I noticed Liam wasn't realifacusing on the instruction. Instead, his eyes were following the movement of my body with an intensity that made my skin heat despite the cool water. You're not paying attention, I teased, trying to lighten the mood. Heblished. Caught, sorry. I got distracted. The admission hung between Yushivi with implication. I cleared my throat. Maybe we should call it a night, actually, said, moving closer in the water. I was wondering if you'd like to come to my track meet this Saturday. It's an important qualifying event in Wellede. Really like you to be there, of course, I replied. Perhaps too quickly. I'd love to. Saturday arrived bright and crisp. The track field was packed with spectators and athletes from various schools. I found a spot in the bleachers with a good view of the hurdles when Lai emerged. For his warm-up, my breath caught. He was wearing his team uniform, tight shorts and sleeveless top. Thought showed off his athletic build perfectly. He spotted me in the crowd and waved his face, breaking into that brilliant smile I'd grown to loveth. Word appeared in my mind unbidden. I pushed it away, focusing instead on watching him prepare for his race. The 400-meter hurdles was always an impressive event, but watching Liamron was something else entirely. His form was perfect, each hurdle cleared with graceful power. Won his heat easily, qualifying 4th regional championships. After the meet, I waited outside the locker rooms. When he emerged, as still flushed from his victory, his hair damp from the shower, he looked more beautiful than ever. That was incredible, I said sincerely. You make it look effortless. Thanks, he grinned, then hesitated. Listen, some of the team is going out to celebrate, but would Yome want to go somewhere, just the two of us instead? My heart skipped. What did you have in mind? He suggested a walk through the nearby park, and I agreed. The October evening was perfect, leaves turning golden, and read the air cooling out to justify walking. Close together, found a quiet bench overlooking Asmel Pond. The setting sun painted everything in soft oranges and pink salax. Liam said, suddenly turning to face me. I need to tell you something, Andy. Need. You two just listen, okay? I nodded me. Heart pounding these past few weeks. Pending time with you, it's helped me understand myself in ways I never expected, but it's more than that, he took a deep breath. I think I'm falling in love with you. The words hung in the air between us. My chest felt tight with emotion. I know this could complicate things, he continued quickly. You're my senior, my mentor, and maybe you don't feel the same way, but I had to tell you, being around you makes me feel like I can finally be myself, like I don't have to pretend anymore. I reached out and took his hand, marveling at how perfectly it fit in me. Liam, I said softly. I've been falling for you since the first day Yao walked into that pool area, his eyes wide in hope and happiness, flooding his features, slowly giving me time to pull away if I wanted to. He leaned in when our lips finally met. It felt like everything clicked into place. The kiss was gentle at first, tentative, but quickly deepened as months of suppressed feelings surfaced. When we finally broke apart, both slightly breathless, Nathan rested his forehead against mine. Evie'd been wanting to do that for so long, he whispered. Me too, I admitted, reaching up to cup his face. But Liamari, you sure about this? Coming out in the sports world isn't easy, and if we're together, I'm sure about you, he interrupted. Firmly everything else we can figure out together. The following weeks were like living in a dream, Liamond. Spent every possible moment together, though we were careful to keep our relationship brief. At first, during our swimming sessions, we maintained a professional demeanor, but stolen glances and accidental touches made the tension almost tunable. After training, we'd often sneak to my dorm room. I was lucky to have a single room as a senior athlete. There we could finally be ourselves. Sometimes we'd study together, Nathan's head resting in my lap, while I read through my sports medicine test textbooks. Other times we'd spend our sieges talking, learning every detail, a bootiac, other between kisses. One particularly ramblevening. Liam brought his laptop to show me videos of his past track competitions. We sat on my bed, his back against my chest, my arms around his waist. See that he pointed to his form during a hurdle jump. Dad spent weeks helping me perfect that technique. I pressed a kiss to his neck. You're amazing too. Watch, so graceful. He turned in my arms, his expression suddenly serious. Alex, I've been thinking of boodling my parents about us, about me. My heart skipped. Are you sure you're Rodino? He admitted, but I'm tired of hiding. When Dad calls, I want to tell him about me. Amazing boyfriend who's helping maybe become a better athlete. When Mom asks about my life here, I want to tell her about the man I'm falling in love with. I pulled him closer, overwhelmed by emotion. Whatever you decide, I'm here for you. But there's no rush. Liam, coming out is our journey, and you should do it on your own timeline. He kissed me, then deepened, passionate, in conversations. Was forgotten for a while, however. Keeping our relationship secret wasn't always easy, especially in the close-knit athletic community of Iraq. Academy. Rumors started when POP noticed how much time we spent together, how we always seemed to sit next to each other in the cafeteria, how we'd arrive and leave practice together. Situation came to a head during a joint training session between the swim team and track team. We were doing cross-training exercises, and I was helping Glim with his form. During a particular my hands lingered too long on his shoulders, and our eyes met with too much intimacy. Yo, Mitchell called out Jason, one of my swim teammates, getting pretty hands-on with your student there. Several athletes snickered, and I saw Liam tense up. I quickly stepped away, maintaining my professional demeanor, but damage was done. Later that day, I was approached by Coach Thompson in his office. Alex, he said seriously, I need to talk to you about Liam Hayes. Mr. Mac dropped, but I kept my facade neutral. What about him? There's been some talk, some concerns about the nature of your relationship. He looked uncomfortable. You're a senior and his mentor. If there's anything inappropriate going on, Coach, I interrupted. I've been anything but professional with Nathan's improved significantly in high swimming, which was the goal of our training sessions. Coach Thompson studied at him for a long moment. Just be careful, Alex. You're both valuable athletes, Tothus. Academy, we wouldn't want any complications that evening. I met Nathan in our usual spot by the park when I told him about the conversation with Coach. He went pale. Maybe we should cool things off for a while, he suggested, though I could see how much it hurt him to say it. At least in public, is that what you want? I asked it softly. No, he admitted, his voice cracking. What I want is to be able to hold your hand. When we walk across campus, I want to kiss you after my races. I want to be normal couples do, but I'm scared, Alexium. Scared of what people will say, what Teat might do to our athletic careers. I've pulled him into my arms, not caring why I might see us in the growing darkness. Well, figure it out, I promise, though my own heart was heavy with uncertainty that night as Liam slept beside me in my narrow dorm bed. I watched the moonlight play across his peaceful face and wondered how something they felt so right could be so complicated. As winter approached, the pressure began to mount. Liam had qualified for a major national track competition, and his father was planning to was at the academy to help with his training. Meanwhile, I was dealing with my own stresses. Swim team captain Lettinger, team through important qualifying meets. One cold December morning, Nathan burst into my room, his face pale and hands shaking. My dad found out. He sat collapsing onto my bed. Someone sent him pictures of us together in the park. My blood ran cold. What did he say? He's coming here tomorrow instead of next week. Says we need to have a serious discussion about my future in athletics. Nathan's voice broke. Alex, I'm not ready for this. I sat beside him, pulling him into my arms. You don't have to do this alone. I can be there with you. And no, he interrupted. He specificalisaid. He wants to meet me alone. He looked at me with tears in his eyes. What if Hem makes me leave the academy? What if Heck cuts off my funding? I held him tight, wishing I could shield him from all of this. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out. I promised. The next day was torture. I couldn't focus during classes or practice, knowing Liam was somewhere on campus having that difficult conversation with his father. When my phone finally buzzed with a message from him, my heart nearly stopped. Meet me as indoor track, please. I rushed there, finding Liam sitting alone in the dimly lit facility. His eyes were red. Buth wasn't crying. His father was nowhere to be seen. How did it go? I asked, softly sitting beside him. Liam was quiet for a long moment. It was different then. I expected he was angry at first, not about me being gay, but about me hiding it, Sidey thought. I trusted him more than Thoth, gave a shaky laugh. Then he asked, Ifu, were making me a better athlete. What did you say? I told him, Theatruth, that you've not only helped me improve my swimming and overall conditioning, but that you've also helped it become more confident, more true to myself. Liam turned to look at me. Hewins, to meet you properly. Relief flooded through me. Really? Yeah, he said. If you're going to be part of my life, he